Hello and welcome to my boyfriend's office. We're moving. New space. This is where we are today. I don't know how to use any of this, but it's gonna be the background of today's video, so let's go. But hi, hello and welcome. So I read a few little fun fairy tale cozy cute reads, and then I also saw like a bunch of other people apparently like the vibe is cozy fantasy this year, so loving that. But yeah, I've got my little mushroom mug, you know, I've got my coffee in it. Let's talk about the books I read. Starting off with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I picked this book up because the cover is just so cute. And honestly, what a fun little read. It's about this girl, her name is Emily, and she's in like really cold area of Norway, I think. And she's writing a book about all of the fairies in the European-ish area. And then eventually her colleague comes up and there's just like, it's just so fun. It's like all vibes, just wholesome, cute. They bicker, and it's written in not like oldish English, but very much like it would be preposterous to ever think that I would get up late and stuff like that. And it's just like, it really just adds. The way they like describe food, she makes this deal with this little like brownie out in the woods that she will clear his little tree of snow if he bakes her fresh bread when she does it. And then halfway through, her colleague is like, no, I'm tired of fresh bread. Bring us something else. And the little brownie makes these sweet buns that stay warm until you eat them. And I was just like, a life, what I wouldn't do to make a little deal with a tiny fairy so that I have fresh bread and buns that never go cold. It was just cozy and fun, and there's gonna be a second one and I'm like excited about it, but it didn't leave off on a cliffhanger, so I'm like doing a-okay. What a good time. Would recommend to a friend. If you're trying to make a cozy fantasy read, add this to the list. This is great. I also read The Darkest Part of the Forest and I thought that it had been like so much longer. It's only been like a little over a month since I read Stolen Air. It feels like it's been an eternity. So I just needed some Holly Black content to tie me over. So I bought Darkest Part of the Forest, and then I also bought Tiff. So I'll be reading that soon, I'm sure. This is about a girl. Her name is Hazel and her brother Ben, and they live in a town where everyone is like, yeah, we're aware of the folk, like don't make bargains with them and don't be a tourist and you won't die. Bada bing, bada boom, you know, easy peasy. And in this town, there's this little glass coffin that has a prince, a boy with horns, and he's been in there for decades. And when they were little, they used to like make up stories about him. They would like go and hunt like evil fae with a sword they found in the woods and stuff like that. And then he eventually wakes up, and it's kind of about like that whole journey. I also liked this book. I would totally put it in a cozy fantasy read. I didn't realize I'd be making a cozy fantasy read until everyone else was making cozy fantasy reads, and I was like, this is certainly what I did. I did certainly just read some cozy little fun folklore tales. I mean, it's definitely some of Holly Black's earlier work, and it's certainly not like, it's not the Folk of Air, you know, like it's a one-off, it's a cute little read. So I would definitely recommend. I thought it was so funny because it's like a smooch fest. Everyone is smooching everyone. Hazel smooches the prince, and then she smooches her friend, and she's just known for smooching people because she made a bargain where she sold 7 years of her life to the folk. So she's like, live fast, die young, we gotta smooch everyone. So she's smooching everyone. Her brother Ben is like a hopeless romantic. He's smooching boys. He's smooching the prince too. I mean, everyone is smooching everyone. Who knew smooching was going to be so crucial to the plot? I thought it was silly. I was here for it. I was like, why not? Let them smooch. Let the teens smooch. I support it. I just love how Holly Black describes people. Obviously, all of the people in her book are like so hot, right? But like, I feel like, I don't know, Sarah J Maas does the same thing where like all of the fairies are like really hot, but the way Sarah J Maas does it, Sarah J Maas is like, this is the most beautiful person I've ever seen. But Holly Black will just like use like such beautiful similes to put her point across that this person is like beautiful and angelic, and I just love reading her descriptions of characters. And the other thing I really liked about this book is it does take place in the Folk of Air like world, so we get some things in it from other parts of the book. Like Grimson is in it, which if you've read Folk of Air, he's very relevant. He like makes cursed but also really powerful like objects. So he made like the swords in this book that Hazel finds. And there's also a tree where if you tie a ribbon to it, someone will come out and like give you a bargain. And I think, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it sounds like it's the same tree that Ren would go to and would break people free of the bargains that they made with the folk, which is cool. It's like nice to see the like world tie-in. So would I recommend this for a cozy read? Absolutely. It was cozy, it was smoochy, it was lovey, you know? The family dynamic was also really great. I think Holly Black truly does write amazing family dynamics. I mean, it was no Jude Maddock, but like, yeah, children being young and feeling like they have to like fend for themselves and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought it was great. I had a good time. Because last but not least, I read Unseelie and I was so excited for this book. I thought the premise sounded so fun. I was like, yeah, changeling sisters. Let's go, autistic main character. Like, this sounds great. They're going on a little quest. They're going on a journey. I'm so excited. The cover was really pretty. And I simply did not like it. Well, that's not true. I liked about 60% of it, and then I really, really hated it. To give it the benefit of the doubt, I did listen to this while I was editing photos, so my focus wasn't on it 100%, so maybe I just didn't get all of the important things that I needed to get, right? Like, maybe it's me. It's about Unseelie and Isolde, which they're twin sisters. They're not twins, but one of them is a changeling and one of them is a human. And basically when their mom found out that they had a changeling, she went all the way back to the fairy world, got her sister, and like kept them both. So she's been raised in the human world with her twin sister. They made their parents forget about them because everyone in their town hated Seelie for being a changeling and thought that she was dangerous, so they like left the town and made everyone in the town forget about them. So they've been living like a life of crime, and they're going and breaking into this rich person's house, and they get this compass, and this compass like embeds a tattoo onto Seelie, and then they have to go on this magical journey to get treasure and release whatever's in the compass. And they have the help of these two other people who were also trying to steal the compass at the same time. So they're all this like a traveling journey. That's like the basic premise of it. I liked it at first. At first I was like, there's not really a whole lot of plot, but I love the characters, love a little traveling journey, so I'm having a great time. You know, I think Seelie was a really fun character. I think her and her sister dynamic and like all of that was great. I had a great time. Again, like no thoughts, just vibes. Very much the first half of this book, I was like, sure, I guess they're like there's the compass and they're going on a journey, I think. I don't really know what's happening. And again, maybe that was just because I was listening to this while I was doing work, so like maybe I didn't grasp the whole plot, and that's why I didn't understand what was happening at the beginning. They like joined forces with Raz. There's like a bit of a romance between him and Seelie, which I was like, sure, like let's go. They're a bit bickery, why not? Like I'm here for it. But it was just like so random. They end up in the Seelie like court fae land, and he's like glamoured, and then she like, to help him get away from a fairy, like kisses him, and it's like comes out of kind of left field because it like, why? Don't. Anyway, what really annoyed me was the end. First of all, I should have known it was a duology because it literally says duology. That's my bad. I didn't look at it on Goodreads before I downloaded it. I just thought that I heard the summary and I was like, this sounds great, and just like downloaded it instantly. So I didn't know it was a duology. If I had known it was a duology, I think I would have prepared better. Regardless, Seelie starts making the most fucking childish decisions that have ever graced the land. She goes and she finds out that what's inside the compass is actually this really old fae named Gossamer. And Gossamer is certainly evil. We're all led to suspect that Gossamer is evil. And he's like, make a bargain with me to set me free, and I will return to my own world as soon as I'm able. And the entire time she's like, I shouldn't make a bargain with Fae because they always try and trick you. And then she was like, well, I guess that sounds good. And also she gets his name. So at first he was just a man in a compass, but now she has his name. So she has his name, and also he promised to get back to his land as soon as he is able. So she sets him free, and then she's like, okay, now go back to your own land. And he's like, well, funny story. I can't go back to my own land. And she's like, oh my goodness, how did I get tricked? And I was like, how did you get tricked? How did you get tricked? The evil man told you to make a bargain. That's how you got tricked. What do you, like, why are we confused here? I'm not confused. Right after that, she like runs out of the room, and in the next room, there's literally like a bunch of people dying and covered in blood, which, listening to this, I was like, what is happening? Where did these people come from? What's going on? She sees this person that she like became friends with on the journey that worked at one of the inns that they stayed at or something. And she's like, I have to save her. Oh my God, she's dying and I have to save her. And Gossamer's like, if you just give me control of your body, I can save her, because he's not fully corporeal. He's like kind of like a ghost. He's floating through things. She's like, if I let like him take over my body for a little bit, then he will save her. So she's about to do that when Raze comes down the stairs and is like, Sealy, like I found something. And then she realizes that it was a glamour all the time and that he was trying to trick her. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, like he's evil. Like, of course he's trying to trick her. And it just felt like for most of the book, she seemed like a fairly intelligent person. And then all of a sudden I was like, where did your brain go? Like, why is it gone? They continue and Raze is like, we found the treasure. It's a dragon egg. Sure. It's a dragon egg, and I can't get it because it's in the rib cage of this old dragon. And this dragon egg could hatch at any time. It could stay an egg for another like 100 years, or it could hatch in 2 days. But if we like love it and care for it, then once it hatches, like we can use it to take down the evil girl that had the compass to begin with, because they broke into this rich house and the woman is evil. So they get the dragon egg, and then they're walking. I think they're in a cave. I don't know. They're walking, and they come across her sister and Raze's friend and the evil woman from the big house. And the evil woman from the big house is like, if you hand me over the dragon egg, I'll let your friends go. And so Sealy hands over this priceless dragon egg, and she's like, okay, now let my sister go. And she's like, about that, I was lying, ah ha ha ha. And I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised like she grew up on like folk tales and fairy stories and like magical fantasy land. So like, I'm sorry, this is the like this is the easiest trick in the book. And Sealy is like shocked. She's like, oh my God, she's not a fae. She can lie. And I'm like, yeah, buddy, she's evil. What did you think? She would just give you your friends back? Anyway, so this is the point where I was like, okay, what are we doing? So they ask Gossamer for help to transport them to the house, and obviously it doesn't go well, right? Like, are we stupid? Where did our brain cells go? How did we, with their brains, how did they even get to the fucking treasure? I don't understand. Anyway, so they ask Gossamer for help, and Gossamer's like, yeah, no problem, like absolutely help you teleport, like I just need to harness your body for a little bit, Sealy, and then like I can use my magical powers and it'll be great. And guess what? teleports her to the Unseelie court, and because that's where he's from. So they're like, oh no, we're screwed. We find out that Gossamer isn't even really liked in the Unseelie court because he's been gone for like centuries, and they're like, we're not really friends with you at this point, homie. Like, you kind of suck. So now they're in even more danger because the one person that was supposed to be like, you know, homies with the Unseelie isn't homies with the Unseelie. So Celie is like, we need to get out of here. So somehow she harnesses the power of the egg. Remember the egg that's in the other world? She harnesses its energy or something, and she uses it to teleport them to the house that has her sister. And she finds out that she's actually been missing for months, and that the evil woman gave her sister and her friend like work in the house, and that like they've just been like thinking that she's dead and being very upset about it. And also apparently the egg has hatched, I think, but it will only, like, Celia is the only one who has a connection to this dragon, probably because of the weird like energy teleport thing that happened. And so she like bursts out of this room like ready to go, and then the book ends. In the beginning, I was having so much fun. In the beginning, I was like, this is so cozy, this is so great, the characters are so fun, love a sister dynamic, love a like angsty boy, let's go on a journey, this is great. And then by the end, I was like, I'm tired and so over stupid decisions. Like, what? Why? Not only did she, like, I would forgive her if she trusted Gossamer and then was like, I can't believe I got bamboozled. But to trust Gossamer, get bamboozled, trust Gossamer again, get bamboozled again, trust the evil bitch, get bamboozled, trust Gossamer and get bamboozled again. It's 5 times. In a row though. Like in a row, literally one after each other. So anyway, I read that book and I thought it was gonna be a part of a cozy read, but actually I was really angry by the end of it and I was just kind of like yelling. I really liked the characters and I really liked the world that she had built and I liked the premise. I thought it was great. And again, 60% of it, I was having a great time and I was like, let's go, like 3.5, 4 stars, let's go. But then I gave it 2 stars because it just was so out of character. And also like the romance that happened didn't make any sense. I was just really disappointed in it. So would I recommend it for a cozy fantasy read? I mean, again, I still really liked 60% of it and some people might not be as upset about all of the bamboozling, but for me, it felt like I went from reading like a young adult book to like a middle-aged book. Like I felt like this was for like 6th graders, you know, like 10-year-old. Would I add it to the cozy read? With caution. I would add it with caution because I think that still a lot of people could like it and it does have a lot of really good reviews on Goodreads, so with caution, would recommend. Those are the books I read, you know, I guess. We're all in our cozy fantasy era, so love that for us. I've been really into folklore lately. I feel like last year I was super into Greek mythology, and then this year I'm all for the Irish folklore. It's like very nostalgic for me because my mom also used to like tell me stories and say that I was like gonna get taken away by fairies and that they would make me dance until my feet fell off, you know. The classics. So I feel like it's like very fun for me to read them. So if you guys have any recommendations, would love to hear them. I went to my local bookstore and I asked for recommendations on Irish folklore books. They said I should read Sarah J. Maas. And I was like, sure, maybe. So if you guys have any recommendations on like actual Irish folklore or like any folklore in general, I would love to read them. Or like any other cozy reads. Would love to dive into those. Very much think that we should all read more cozy, fun reads this year. But that's all I've got for you guys today. The next video I'm gonna be doing is gonna be for the Ides of March because a fun fact, I celebrate the death of Julius Caesar every year. So get ready for a fun little list of books that you should read to celebrate the death of Julius Caesar as well, because fuck that guy, honestly. That's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you on the flippity flop. Peace.